August 2018, 2:13 a.m., Cupertino. Inside Apple's secure network, a red warning light pulses in a silent data hall. Unauthorized access detected. The source address traces not to Russia, not to Beijing, but to a suburb east of Melbourne. A 16-year-old student is inside Apple's digital vault, live, pulling proprietary code used by half the planet. For 90 gigabytes, the world's most valuable company is being robbed by a kid in a hoodie. And nobody at Apple knows yet. But the alarm that just went off in California will wake the FBI before sunrise in Australia. Because what's being stolen isn't customer data, it's Apple's blueprint for itself. His name is hidden by court order, known only as the Apple hacker. Age 16. Location, Melbourne's southeast suburbs. His tools, a 2015 MacBook Pro, an iPhone 6, and a home Wi-Fi router duct taped to a dresser. To neighbors, he's another quiet student obsessed with coding. To Apple, he's about to become the biggest internal security incident since the iCloud breach. He spends nights logged into anonymous developer forums, collecting fragments of Apple infrastructure posted by contractors, subdomain names, API references. By mid-2017, he discovers Apple's remote authentication gateway, the system engineers use to access internal servers. The gateway name, auth.apple.com/internal_login. He tests it, gets a 403 forbidden, but the response header leaks something. Location, /core/SSH key exchange. That string will change everything. He begins building a digital mirror of Apple's network from publicly leaked metadata. Each week, another puzzle piece. By July, he's found a development credential stored on GitHub by a third-party vendor. Expired? Maybe. But when he feeds it into his custom SSH script, something clicks. Access granted. He is in. The portal opens not to one server, but a cluster. Apple Core 02.Cupertino, a machine used by internal engineers for code distribution. The teen can't believe what he sees. Folder names labeled device_security, iCloud_A-youth, core_OS. Every line of code is intellectual gold worth billions. He starts small, a 1 gigabyte test download, no alarm, then 5 gigabytes, 20 gigabytes. Each packet slips quietly through encrypted tunnels routed through Germany, the Netherlands, and Singapore. But he doesn't stop there. He writes a Python script to automate the exfiltration, packet by packet, through Apple's own content delivery mirrors. For weeks, the theft continues, unnoticed, like a shadow breathing behind Apple's firewalls, until he gets greedy. August 2018, Apple's intrusion detection system, SplunkGuard 5.2, flags something strange. An internal engineer's credential is generating requests from an IP range that doesn't match any corporate VPN. The security team digs in. At first, they assume it's a misconfigured test machine. Then they see the data volume, 90 gigabytes. Inside Apple's Security Operations Center, red alerts cascade across dashboards. File hashes match internal repositories, never meant to leave the building. The operation goes code red. Incident classification, priority 1/intellectual property exfiltration. Within hours, Apple contacts the FBI's cyber division. And by dawn in Melbourne, the Australian Federal Police get the call. Joint operation code name, Vault Breaker. Meanwhile, the teen is in class, oblivious. His iPhone buzzes. Apple's servers are going dark one by one. He assumes it's maintenance. He's wrong. In Cupertino, forensic analysts trace the breach path backward. The packets lead through anonymizing relays, but one misstep gives him away. He forgot to disable iCloud Sync on his personal MacBook, the same device generating the SSH keys just backed up to Apple's own servers. Irony complete. Apple's vault was hacked by a machine still logged into Apple's cloud. Investigators cross-reference the hardware, UUID. It points to a purchase at an authorized Apple store in Chadstone, Australia. Receipt timestamp, December 2015. Payment, his mother's credit card. They've got him. But before they move in, the FBI wants to know what was taken. Apple engineers isolate the compromised files. Among them, unreleased prototypes of iOS builds, internal security keys, and an admin token granting access to the Apple Connect system used by engineers worldwide. If those credentials spread, millions of Apple devices could be impersonated as trusted. It's the kind of vulnerability that could cripple updates, hijack authentication, or inject malware through official channels. Apple locks down every internal system. Engineers pull 18-hour shifts rotating encryption keys and rewriting trust certificates across 100,000 endpoints. Cost, millions. Reputation risk, immeasurable. But the thief isn't bragging. He's quietly archiving, because to him, it's not about money, it's about pride. He's building a local folder labeled Apple Vault Backup / for research. But research into what? 2 weeks later, 6:45 a.m., Melbourne, a black SUV rolls down a quiet street. Inside, federal agents, digital forensics officers, and one warrant signed by a federal magistrate. Door knocks, silence, then footsteps, federal police a step back from the computer. The boy freezes mid-keystroke. On screen, a command line still logged into an Apple server. The officers disconnect the router, seize 2 laptops, 3 external drives, and 1 iPhone. Chain of evidence begins. In total, 1 terabyte of storage devices containing 90 gigabytes of Apple source code and network diagrams. He doesn't resist. In fact, he tells them something that leaves the lead agent speechless. I love Apple. I wanted to work there. In Cupertino, when Apple's legal team receives the forensic report, the reaction is disbelief. A teenager breached the same vault used by engineers behind iPhone encryption. The system the FBI once failed to break. The irony is painful. Apple, the company that told the US government no when asked to unlock a terrorist's phone, had just been unlocked by a high schooler. But you haven't heard the worst part. The investigation finds no malware, no exploit kit, no 0 day. The entire breach happened through authorized pathways. He simply mimicked legitimate employee behavior using valid SSH keys found in a misplaced development token. The system built to protect Apple became its greatest weakness. Court transcripts later reveal the teen had stored the stolen code in a folder titled Hacky Hack Hack. He accessed it nightly from a computer hidden under his bed, bragging to online friends that he'd gained Dream access. They thought he was bluffing until he posted screenshots of Apple's internal directory structure. Within days, those images spread across private Discord servers before moderators purged them. The risk wasn't the leak itself. It was proof that Apple's Fort Knox could be breached by curiosity alone. For Apple, containment meant silence. The company issued no public statement, but inside, panic turned to overhaul. New rule. Every internal credential rotated every 14 days. Every contractor audited. Every code repository split across air-gapped segments. But that wasn't the first mistake. Months later, while awaiting trial, the teen's defense lawyers claim he never sold or shared the files. Investigators double-check. They discover traces of the same credential being used again. After his arrest, different IP, same signature. Apple's nightmare returns. Someone else had cloned the keys before the first raid. Whether the teen leaked them intentionally or another actor was watching him remains unknown. But forensic timestamps show secondary access attempts in late 2018 from servers in South America. Apple's internal notes describe it bluntly. Possible copycat actor. Unknown vector. Access contained. The FBI never confirms whether the second intruder was caught. But Apple quietly rebuilds its entire authentication architecture the following year. Meanwhile, the teen faces sentencing in an Australian court. Reporters camp outside, trying to identify the prodigy who breached the world's most secure tech giant. The judge calls his skills extraordinary. Prosecutors call them dangerous. He's sentenced as a juvenile. No prison, just probation and restrictions on computer use. But the ruling includes a chilling statement. Had this occurred in the United States, penalties could exceed 10 years. The courtroom falls silent. Even the agents know it could have been far worse, because what he downloaded wasn't just code. It was Apple's internal signing keys, the digital DNA that validates every iOS build on Earth. If altered, those keys could make malware look official. Apple never spoke publicly about the incident, but inside security circles, the Vault breach became legend, a case study in how the smallest human error can open the largest corporate fortress. The teen, he vanished from headlines. Rumors say he studies computer science now. Some say Apple quietly offered him a security internship years later. Others say he disappeared into the anonymity of bug bounty programs. So if a teenager can walk into Apple's vault, who's inside yours?